Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm Laura Rose and today I'm going to be doing a bookshelf tour. Yay! I'm actually going to be splitting this into two parts. So this is going to be part one. I'm just going to talk about the top of my bookshelf, and then part two I'll talk about the bottom. So we actually have two of these bookshelves. There's one on either side of our bed. This one is all mine and it holds almost every single one of the books that I own, and obviously the one on the other side is Zach's and it has all his books on it. As you guys know, I'm a pretty big minimalist, so this is my entire book collection other than the ones in my TBR unhaul pile. Anything that I want to put onto my shelf, I read first, and it has to earn its spot here. Over here you can see I have an Olaf painting, which my younger sister Darcy actually hand painted for me. Yes, she is an amazing artist. And over here is my composite from Chi Omega when I was in college and I was a secretary of the sorority. And then there's my bookshelf. On the very top, which you can't really see because they're white and it's really bright in here since I have like 12 lights on right now, are these letters from Michaels that say Z and L. Oh, so cute. Wow, these are really dusty. But oh well, you can't tell. They're on the top of my bookshelf. Who cares? Top shelf. Obviously, on one side, over here we have Harry motherfucking Potter. You guys know how much I love Harry Potter, and that usually when I do a tag video or a top 10 or something, I always leave Harry Potter off of the list because it's like my number one everything. Although they look really nice, my Harry Potter books are actually pretty beat up. I know a lot of people like take really good care of their books and are pretty anal about them, but the problem is I've read Harry Potter so many times that my Prisoner of Azkaban is now literally coming apart. This is actually one that I should probably just buy another copy of because if I tried to read this again, I don't even think I would be able to. Also on this shelf is a picture of Zach and I kissing. Ew. And this was taken as a selfie that we did when we went and saw Disney's Frozen on Ice, which was like 3 or 4 months after we started dating. It was his first Christmas present to me, and it was freaking awesome. Like, if you are thinking, oh, maybe I want to go see Disney's Frozen on Ice, do it. It's totally worth it if you are a huge nerd child fangirl like I am. Behind the photo of Zach and I have my Harry Potter wand. I went to the Harry Potter World in January and obviously I had to get a wand. They come with a really cool map of Diagon Alley and Hogsmeade, which I actually think I might want to frame. I got an interactive wand. If you go to the Wizarding World of Harry Potter, it's completely worth it to pay the extra money to get an interactive wand. It comes with a sensor on top so you can like do spells when you wander around the Wizarding World of Harry Potter. It was so fun. This is actually Sirius's wand. I picked it because I liked the way it looked. I did not pick it because it was Sirius's wand. I am actually a Slytherin, and also Sirius was not one of my favorite characters in the book. I'm like a very big outlier. I don't see why everybody was so obsessed with Sirius. Please do not freak out on me about that. But his wand is really cool. I'm more of a fan of the Weasley twins, and still am in denial about the last book, so don't even talk to me about that. One thing I'm learning right now during this bookshelf tour is that I do not dust nearly enough as I should be because the top shelf is really gross right now. Over here on this other side, I've got some little trinkets, cowboy and an Indian. I think these were from a Lincoln Log set. They don't have any personal meaning to me other than I had them when I was a child. Same as this poor little My Little Pony that has been trimmed. It's just a childhood toy. This actually has a lot of meaning though. This is Herky. When I was in 4th grade, I had this really amazing teacher. She was so awesome. She had this poster where if you read 100 books, you got a sticker, and then at the end of that 100 books, you got to get a prize. Myself and my best friend Ashley were the only 2 kids in the class to actually reach this goal twice in the 4th grade, and one of the things that I got was this little bunny rabbit named Herky. He's named after a character in a book that she read us. I do not remember what it's called. All I know is that there's a character named Herky in it, and it has goblins. It is amazing how awesome your teachers can be to instill such a great sense of wonder in you that you remember this from like literally 20 years ago when I was reading heavily as a child. The last thing on my bookshelf is this clock, which it is ticking. I don't think you can see that, but it does not show the correct time. My sisters made this for me for my birthday. They made it from Pinterest, I believe. It looks super duper cool. It's a clock made out of an old book, and although it doesn't actually tell the time, it does tick and it looks pretty. This shelf is separated into 2 sections. Over here I have a lot of middle grade books that I loved when I was growing up. There is Seabiscuit, which was my favorite book that I read last year. The Golden Compass and The Subtle Knife. Holes, which is another one I reread last year, which is freaking amazing. Of course, The Witches and the BFG, Roald Dahl. I have a Boxcar Children book, Mrs. Piggle Wiggle, Psychic Pets, which I actually bought from one of those Scholastic book things that you got in school where you had to like fill out the little catalog form. And this is about how your pets are psychic and can sense other dimensions and stuff. Dr. Doolittle's Circus by Hugh Lofting, which I reread a couple months ago and stood up. Still amazing. Matilda, George's Marvelous Medicine. Obviously, I was a huge Roald Dahl fan. And Miss Hickory, which I remember reading as a kid, but I also remember that I didn't like it that much because it was sad. So maybe I'll have to reread it and figure out why. I also have a little owl over here. I'm a Chi Mega, as I said earlier, and owls are our little mascot. So I keep this one. I got it in college, and it's super cute, so it made the cut when I decluttered. Behind that owl, I have a photo of myself and my best friend from college, Annie. It's one of my favorite pictures of us because we're both so happy and we're both wearing our different sorority letters. We were in different sororities, so it was a big deal for us to be best friends. Also on this shelf, I have this really cool skull. My cousin printed this for me on his 3D printer when we went to Thanksgiving a couple years ago, and it's meant to like sit on a light and then it shoots all these really cool patterns up into the air, but I just keep it on my shelf because it looks super cool. Behind that, I have this box that I got from Target, and in this I keep a lot of like mementos. This is a Valentine that I got this year from my mom. Notes, cards, photographs, postcards. It's my sister. Oh, she's so beautiful. Picture me and my daddy. Me when I was a little kid. This is from when I worked in a haunted house in New York City. And the last thing on this shelf is a collection of plays. Lend Me a Tenor, which I worked on in college. The Insanity of Mary Gerard, which I was in college. Snake Bit, which is just one that I picked up. Crimes of the Heart, which I also was in college. And The Playwright's Handbook. Yay! Now I can sit down! On my middle shelf, this has a little bowl on it, which I keep an eye mask that says, "Wake me when it's the weekend," and clearly I need to buy a new one since it's really wearing out. Chapstick and earplugs in here, and this bowl I got in Arizona when I was in college. I actually got to fly down to Arizona from Michigan with the president of the college and represent the student population and talk to donors and friends and alumni of the school to try to get some more money. But it was awesome because they chose me because of my acting background and I was recommended by one of my professors. So I got to fly to Arizona in February. It was amazing. And I got this really cool bowl as a commemoration of that. Things that I keep, if they're souvenir related, I try to make them functional and not have too many trinkets on my bookshelf. On this side of my shelf right here, this is all travel books. I actually buy a book in the language of the country I'm in every time I go to a new country. You can check out a video where I go in detail in all of these books. I'll link it down below or right here or something. And I tell you about all the countries I've been to and what the story is behind each of these awesome travel books. Alright, that's going to be it for part 1 of this video. Come back either next week or the week after and I'll do part 2 and show you the rest of my bookshelf. Thanks for watching, guys. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Tell me about your bookshelves. Do you have a lot of stuff on them? Do you have a huge book collection? What kind of trinkets do you have? And as always, have a glittery day. Bye bye.